Hi, my name is Abby Chignoli. Have you ever thought about what it would be like to be a dog? For me, I don't have a dog. I have a fish. And fish, unlike dogs, require a lot of responsibility. Dogs, cats, hamsters, fish, guinea pigs, they all require special attention and a lot of responsibility. For anybody, I definitely recommend getting a shelter dog. Shelter dogs and shelter cats, any kind of animal that come from shelters, are very good substitutes other than those that come from pet stores. For me, I have chosen Fancy Nancy and the Posh Puppy, written by Jane O'Connor and illustrated by Robin Pries Glasser. I am ecstatic. That's a fancy word for happy. We're going to get a puppy, a real one. I hope we get a Papillon, like our neighbor's dog. You say it like this, Papillon. In French, it means butterfly. I help Mrs. Devine take care of Jewel. We take her to the beauty salon. We buy her new ensembles. That's a fancy word for clothes. Papillons are so posh. That's another fancy word for fancy. There's only one problem. My parents. Papillons like to stay indoors, my dad says. They're too little. And delicate, my mom says. What about one of these dogs? I shake my head. Too big, too brown, too plain. Ugh. Sometimes it's hard being the only fancy person in a family. Then I get an idea that's spectacular. That's a fancy word for great. We can puppy sit for Jewel. My parents say okay. So does Mrs. Devine. My family will see how happy we'll be with a Papillon puppy. I introduce Jewel to my doll, Maribel. I show my sister how to groom Jewel and how to scoop her poop. My sister wants to hold and kiss Jewel. I tell her, you must be gentle. What a responsible girl you are, my mom says. Some dog is going to be very lucky. Merci, I say. That's a French word for thank you. Two of my friends are walking their dogs. Come over to my house, I say. I'm puppy sitting. All the dogs can play together. Rusty splashes in the wading pool. Jewel hides behind my legs. Scamp plays fetch. Go, Jewel! Go get the ball! I yell. Jewel just looks at me. She gets exhausted pretty easily, I tell my friends. That's a fancy word for tired. When Jewel gets her beauty rest, we have refreshments. Oh no! Look what my sister's doing! Poor Jewel is terrified. Mom, come quick! Jewel's going to be sick! Yeah. When we get our own Papillon, I'm not letting her near it, I say. My mom whispers, she doesn't know any better. She was just trying to be nice. I know that. We take Jewel back to her house. She's a perfect dog for Miss Devine. Maybe she isn't the perfect dog for us. I'm so sad. I hardly get a fancy when we go to the King's Crown for dinner. On the way home, we drive by the animal shelter. Let's take a look, my mom says. All those dogs need a family to love them. I ask the lady, are there any fancy dogs here? And she says, I think I have just the dog for you. She's funny and playful and smart and cuddly. Her name is Frenchie. Frenchie? I like the sound of that. Frenchie runs right to me and jumps into my lap. She likes it when my sister hugs her too. Frenchie is the perfect dog for us. My dad said Frenchie is a Lascelles Spaniel. That's a very unique breed. Unique is a fancy for one of a kind. You know what? Maybe that's even better than fancy. The end.